What is up, everybody? Welcome to Drunken Horror Adventures. I'm Travis. I'm rolling solo. My apologies for the lack of a Vic and the lack of a Blake. Vic was supposed to be here. We had a miscommunication about the time of the movie and the day of the movie because I speak English and he speaks Victa. I don't know what else to call it. Philpottanese. But anyway, we were supposed to see the movie at 2 today, and he didn't catch what I was putting down when I said today, and he thought it was tomorrow, but that's really beside the point. Anyway, so I went and caught Happy Death Day to You today. Today is February 13th. 10-year anniversary. I loved it in that it had a lot of rewatchability. It was just fun. You had a hot chick as the main actress. It was just good times altogether. Not a lot of gore. Kind of a scream for this millennial generation that's scared of violence. But the interesting thing about this one, though, in comparison to the first one, and again, I'm going to try not to give too many spoilers about it, is that, the first one was definitely a horror comedy, and this one was more like comedy horror. And the way that works is, the way I'm trying to explain that is that Happy Death Day was probably 50-50 horror and comedy. Happy Death Day to You was probably 75-25 comedy to horror. So not a lot of horror elements to this one. I mean, there were some, but I felt like we were in a Back to the Future type movie more so than we were a Groundhog Day horror movie. It was not... I mean, look, alright, let's be honest with you. Happy Death Day was an unexpected success. Made a lot of money for a low budget. So what do? They make a sequel. And as much as I love horror sequels, especially for slashers, and this is definitely loosely a slasher, this one was shoehorned in for sure. I mean, there really wasn't any place to go after that first one, but somehow they managed to, find a sequel here. Based on the fact that I was the only one in the theater, and I realized that it was a 2 p.m. showing, first showtime for this. A lot of people were at work and school, but still, I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of interest for this movie. I don't know how well it's going to do as far as box office. I doubt it's going to get any kind of critical acclaim because I'll get there. But this one, I don't know. It didn't hold up to the original. And not to say that I didn't enjoy it. I mean, it had its moments, but there just wasn't a whole lot of places to go with this movie after the first one. The first one kind of wrapped it up nicely, and then here we are with a sequel, and it's like, where do we go from here? And they did their best to continue to tell the story, but it just wasn't the same. I'm glad I went and watched it, but unlike the first one, I doubt I'll watch it multiple times. I may catch it one more time, who knows? It depends on what movies come out. I've got a couple movies ahead of it right now. The Prodigy being one of them, which I'll probably catch Friday and maybe upload a video or a podcast about that. But yeah, this isn't going to be a long podcast. This is just me kind of giving the quick and dirty of the movie. You know, you get Tree back in this movie, the blonde chick who was fucking hot in the last one. Still hot, but it feels like, I don't know, in certain scenes she seemed like she had aged some, but still hot. What can I say? It still revolved around her. You still had a lot of the main characters from the first one. I mean, just about everybody from the first one, really. But I keep saying this. I just don't... There really was no need for a sequel, but it's just like anything else. There was no need for a sequel after Halloween 2, but by God, we got some. And I was perfectly happy with them just to get sequels. And I suppose as history goes on, I'll feel that way about this one too. But... I mean, it didn't cheapen the original or anything, so that's good. One good thing I had going for me, which is, this never fucking happens. I'm never good at this. I guess the killer in the first one. And if you've seen the trailers, this is not a spoiler, you get the idea that there's a different killer in this one. So, I guess the killer in this one as well. Not going to say who it is, because I said spoiler free. But I'll let everybody see if they can guess it themselves when they watch the movie. Hopefully everybody gets out and watches the movie, because movie studios do stupid shit when movies like this don't do well at the theaters. They like to say, oh, well, the Ring sequel or the Ring remake, whatever the fuck you want to call it, didn't do well, so let's not do another Friday the 13th. Not sure what the connection is there, but movie studios get shy whenever horror movies do bad, not realizing maybe when they came out, the interest in the movie itself, and the fact that, you know, not all horror movies are created the same, just like any other genre. But Happy Death Day to You, I'd give it... It's a notch below the last one, so I'd give it 2.5 machetes out of 4. Like I said before, glad I saw it. Just not, you know, anything special. Where's the horror? Fuck. It was comedy and not much horror. More so like a mystery. And I know the last one was a mystery too, but it had more horror elements than this one. So, a little sad about that. But we've got Pet Sematary coming up. We've got Us, I believe is the name of it, the Jordan Peele movie. So yeah, I mean, there's some good shit coming our way. It is coming out in September. Still haven't got an official trailer on that one. Still waiting on that. But yeah, all I'm trying to say is that while this was a little underwhelming, maybe slightly disappointing, there are still big things to come in horror this year. So, you know, I'm not beat up about it. I'm not going to beat up this movie. There's not a lot to beat up. It just, you know, it was a movie that really didn't need to be made, but it was, and it wasn't horrible. So, I mean, I guess that's as far as I can go with it. It had entertaining moments, and that's all I can do with this movie. So, that's where I am with it. Not sure how much I can give out beyond that, but if you guys want to follow us on Instagram, we're still on there posting offensive shit that we can't post on Facebook. And hell, I can't post it on Facebook because I'm banned for 30 days off Facebook. So you'll see me on Twitter at PhenomenalTLD, our Instagram at Drunken Horror, Vic's Twitter at Vic Von Erich. Hopefully he'll get out to see it before he takes a vacation. That dude is always on vacation. I just got back from a cruise, which was fucking sweet, let me just say. But Vic, that dude, well, he lives the single life. What can I say? No kids. He didn't give a fuck about anything. Good for him. I'd do the same thing if I were him. Hell, I used to do the same thing when I was him, when I was in his place. So anyway, at PhenomenalTLD, at Vic Von Erich, at Drunken Horror on Instagram, Facebook.com/Drunken Horror. Our Facebook still works. I think they turned down our algorithm so that less people are liking our posts, because there was a time where every post was getting shares and all sorts of shit. Nowadays, there's a lot less people seeing it, and I assume that's because of the bannings that have taken place over some of our posts. So that's why a lot of the highly offensive ones, or even like slightly offensive ones, end up going to Instagram these days, because there's a bunch of fucking Facebook Nazis on there. But yeah, that's all I got for you. Happy Death Day to You. 2.5 machetes out of 4. I have not checked the IMDb score yet. Like I said, quick and dirty on this movie. Haven't got into the budget and all those things. And we didn't do a first one on this show, so there's kind of really no place for me to go deep dive into this movie. We may revisit it later on. Hell, maybe at some point we'll do a show where we do both movies in one, like we did the Scream series and a lot of the Friday the 13th movies. But for now, this is Travis signing off from Drunken Horror Adventures. February 26th, we are talking about David Koresh and Waco, so you don't want to miss that. Hopefully I'll get in again this week and do The Prodigy. We'll see. No promises, but I will try. I'm going to try to catch it on my birthday Friday, so it's my birthday. You got to pick up the phone. Sorry, I just walked out of Happy Death Day to You. I got to hear that song repeatedly again. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. We will talk later. Peace.